Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Ranger 363V Restoration. This is part 34 of the series, and in today's video, we're going to be installing the batteries and getting all the wires hooked up. Then we are going to test everything to make sure that we have everything correctly wired. So without further ado, let's get into it. So the troubleshooting begins. I want to make sure that all this stuff works under here before I put those two batteries on. So I got everything hooked up, and the first thing I noticed is that when I plugged in the ground here, that my bilge pump was just constantly running, it wouldn't stop running. So I unplugged the ground for the bilge, and then I checked these two wires. So I had them reversed. As you can see, I got auto bilge hooked up to bilge, and now everything works. So I just had these two wires flipped around to the wrong side, so I'm gonna have to go ahead and redo all this because it's all labeled. And I don't know why I put, like all these connectors and stuff, but so we got that. Second thing we got going on is that our timer is not working on our live wells. So if I come over here, let's do starboard. I don't know if you can hear that. Pump's working. If I put on a timer, and this is supposed to be about a minute, I can just leave it on and it won't work. So it's like maybe I have them backwards, so I switched this one, the wires from this terminal to this terminal, and flipped them. So now if I turn this one on, I don't have any power, but if I turn this one on, I have power. So it's something up in here, just gonna have to troubleshoot it. So that's what we're gonna do right now, is figure that out and then clean up all these wires. All right, still working on this live well situation, and I feel like a complete moron. And this is something that I struggle with a lot, is not reading instructions all the way, or only focusing on one area. So, I was focused all over here, just looking at this, the red. I'm focused on red. But over here, it says connect a black wire to ground using supplied female connector. Let me see if I can get y'all up under here. Let me just say, there's not a ground. There's no ground. So, gonna run a ground. That's what I gotta do. Gotta run a ground, and hopefully that fixes the problem. Okay, live well timers work, bilge works, if I have it plugged in. So now I just need to cut all these wires and relabel everything. Alright, let's get to it. Alright, so this battery is installed, and everything works. All the pumps work. So like I said, it was only that ground wire. I went ahead and I changed these around off camera. No point in y'all watching me do that. The only thing I'm missing is one of those like positive boot things to stop it from shorting out. So I'm gonna get one of those. And yeah, so that's that. So we're gonna go ahead and install that tray back, put these two batteries, hook up the trolling motor, get all that wired up, and then we'll test it. Just so happy to be done in the back of this boat. Everything is working, everything is on and connected, and we're all good. I only have left, I gotta get some positive battery covers. So let me just walk through this one more time. We'll start over here and work our way around. We have our battery charger. This is a Dual Pro model RS3, so it's a 3-bank charger, and it's a 8 amp per bank. So nice little charger, fits in here good, screwed into the side here. It's fairly lightweight. Next to it we have a circuit breaker for the trolling motor. That's just a generic brand, it's not the Minn Kota one. Guys, are all made in the same shop. Then we have the wires for the 3 banks running up into here and going across, also with the trolling motor positive and negative. So we go to battery 3, so you know which battery charger is where, which is nice because a lot of boats don't have that and you don't know which one's which. So we got this one hooked up. This is our trolling motor power. So we got the power here marked, we got the charger, and then we have the cable that connects it to make it 24 volts. So we have that there. Moving on to battery number 2, which is also labeled as well. We have the negative for the trolling motor ground, and then we have the jumper going across, and then we have P2, which is Perco switch position number 2. So that runs to the Perco, which connects to this battery and this battery to give it 12 volts if you need to jump your cranking battery. So we got that. Moving along, like I said, we have the Perco switch here. It's off to the side. All the wires running into here and everything works. So we got that. Yeah. So yeah, we got that going on. Then we got battery number 1, which is also labeled over there. Now we have a lot going on this battery. We have the bus ground, which is up under here. We have the charging cable. Then we have the the motor ground and the ground that runs to the front. I need to put a piece of heat shrink over that. So we have that on the negative, and then on the positive we have P1, which is Perco switch position number 1, and we have the charger as well. So we have all that. Out of the Perco switch we have a brown wire, which is the automatic pump, which runs to here. We have an inline fuse, so if anything were to happen, the pump is fused, but only for the manual up underneath the console. For the automatic portion, it's fused down here. So we got that going on. And then we also went ahead and ran the vents. They're all going on down here. And then let me see if I can turn you guys around. We have the bus bar for all the negatives and grounds for the pump, so the 2 aerators and the bilge pump, and then this is the nav light ground that runs to the back nav light. Then we have all the positives for the bilges and the other aerators running to here, so if you ever need to replace one, you can just disconnect it and off you go. And that's that. You know, you guys have seen we already have done the plumbing. So yeah, that's it. Everything's working great now. And next we're just going to go ahead and we're going to get the console cleaned up and get all that done, and we'll just go from there. Alright, so we just finished up cleaning up underneath the console, and I say this every time I do something. Looks really good. Pretty happy. Everything's all tucked up in there. Let's go ahead and climb up and see what we got going on. So this is what we got. Got lots of lots of leg room. And I'm a pretty tall guy, so you can see my speed and my tack between my steering wheel. I kind of peer to look at fuel and trim, and then all my gauges right here. So boat's not on. And over here we got our live wells. Boop. Put the live wells on this side instead of this side, because if you're out of the boat you can still operate your live wells, which is pretty nice. So yeah, we got that done. So we're just going to go ahead and we're going to start adding all the trim pieces in. You know, like all these grills, and I got a whole cart over there full of stuff that needs to be put in here. So I'm just going to go through that cart, get it all laid out, and then just start adding things here and there. There was like a wood cover here, if you guys remember. I'm just going to go ahead and use it, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to sand it down and then put some finish on it. I'm not really sure on the finish yet. I'll do some research on, you know, the best like wood finish for wet environments. And then yeah, so you know, while we're sitting here, let's go ahead and make sure everything works. You know, you gotta constantly be testing as you're going. All right, so the auto bilge just pumped, so here we go. Starboard live well is working. Port live well is working. Let's check out the nav lights are working. Let's check the horn. Fuel. I think only the starboard tank has fuel in it. Alright. Port, I think, is empty. Aux, nothing connected. Bilge, working. Interior lights, we don't got any. So yeah, that's it though. Well, that's it for this week, guys. I hope you liked the video. If you did, please be sure to leave a thumbs up. And if you have any comments, leave them down below. And be sure to check back next week, because it's going to be a big episode where we start to work on replacing that stupid cushion seat in the front of the boat and turning it into a rod locker lid. So until next week, guys.